above 3 twist balloon dogs, no bad clowns and cheap wigs here. Raise the bar, prove our art form. It's the Balloon Blast video show with Scott, Tripp, and Sam Crummy.
Hi folks, and welcome back to Balloon Blast. This is episode 39. He's Scott Tripp.
Hey, Sam Crummy.
And we got a lot of neat stuff for you this week. We got the second half of Matt Falloon's cart.
Woo!
What else do we have this week, Scott?
Wow, that's about an episode.
That was a two-parter that was longer than our average episode. It was crazy. But great stuff. Oh my gosh.
And you watch that, you're like 7 minutes, you're like, all right, I know his cart inside and out.
Yeah.
But there's more.
There's way more. There's way more.
And I feel like we're just peeling back the first layer of the Matt Falloon onion.
Yeah, his OCD is really just starting to show.
But we actually have another segment from him coming up.
Next week, or next week after, or
we may keep that in the back pocket.
Yeah, we might hold on to that for a minute, Matt, just so we can use it at a later time.
Right, but keep sending stuff in, and we'll see him at Twist and Shout. So
absolutely.
I sense we may have an interview or something coming up.
I'm hoping so.
Okay.
All right, so what's new this week with you, Scott?
Well, we're actually at the luxurious Blue Coast Burrito here. This is your stomping grounds on Tuesdays.
Right. I just got done with a shift here. All the kids with the balloons have already left, and we'd show you a video of them all. We're here with the staff as they're working on closing up. Enjoying, Scott's having some nachos over here. So
we actually have a studio audience.
I know. We do have people actually watching us work. This is weird.
Well, we're watching them work anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Eating nachos. But we joke all the time about how we do the show every week, but we don't have a week to do the show.
Right.
We have a job that we have to revolve this around. Hello, you can just put that over there. Okay. Yeah, and you just finished yours, I just finished mine, came over here, and I was trying to think, what funny things do I have to talk about? Well, I mentioned this to you earlier. Every once in a while you have sort of an adopted pet for the night. You have a kid that comes up and wants to see everything in your balloon bag, and after they've had 4 balloons, they're still not hanging around. And
yeah.
I had one of those tonight, and I almost don't want to tell the story, but I really do.
Yeah.
We were blowing up balloons, and I had some water balloons. You know, the 4-inch rounds. I was showing her how to make a snowman. Blow up 2 of them, tie them together. She's trying to blow them up, and she's having trouble with it. And her, I guess, mom was watching her and, kind of playing along and made her laugh.
Oh, no.
And the snot came out of the nose onto her lip, and it was
so gross.
And we all saw
awesome.
it, and you'd think her mom just laughed at her and had to tell her it's not funny.
It's not funny.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
But as much as I always joke about that happening, it happened.
It happened. Wow, that's
so
awesome.
That's fresh.
That is.
That made everyone's night.
Wow. See, I've had a couple of children like that in some of my restaurants, and I've got Christmas cards from them on my refrigerator and stuff like that. Little drawings they've made, but every time they see me, they just are so in awe of the balloon man that they just have to hang around. And I encourage it to a degree, but I also make sure that we give room for the other children to come up and get their balloons.
Right. So it's like, to them it's playtime, but to you, you're still working, so you have to balance. So much about what we do is balancing out the work with the fun, like the show, for instance.
Yeah, again,
you need to get better about that.
Like you said, we have a week to do it, but we've got 1 day to film and 1 day to edit, and then we each work a minimum of 3 restaurants a week, plus parties on the weekend, and it's pretty insane.
Right. Well, someone I'm sure has their calendar and schedule worked out is Matt Falloon, as you said. He's got a bit of the OCD.
Yeah. So let's take a look at that.
Yeah. Awesome. More of his cart.
Awesome.
Colours there. On the other side, these are all hearts, once again doubled up in the pockets. There's a small clip on the inside here, and if I unclip that, I can open this up, and I've got more storage space on the inside. So I've got animal prints, I've got stars around, I've got princess faces on hearts in there, and then on the inside of the box, on the very inside of the lid, I've got all of my face prints, eye prints, you know, your Spider-Mans, your Buster Balloon zombies in there. We've got my own little creation, which Mod Bods, which I'll show you these. These are body print balloons. So far I've got the rib cage, use that for making little skeletons, and I've got the tuxedo print, which I use for making all sorts of things, from James Bond's little penguins. Yeah, so that's the inside, and on the other side we've got Linkaloons, which are handy to play with, and then on the inside in there we've got some LED lights, which are occasionally good to put inside balloons for those restaurant gigs. Speaking of those restaurant gigs where the light is a little bit low, on the inside of the box here we've also got a couple of book lights, and they save my life when it comes to restaurants. They can just sort of hover there and light up the balloons. I can also spin that round and shine that up onto the 5-inch rounds if I don't know what's going on. On 2 small hooks on the top of the box I've got my geos, and what I've done with the geos is I've made up, sorry, pardon the camera work by the way, I'm doing this by myself. I've made up small little clips, straps. I've got a female clip on one end and a male clip on the other end, and I can daisy chain these together like this, so that'll clip into there. Sorry, I'm going to have to use my camera hand. So that clips into there, and then the next one is going to clip into the bottom of that one, and that just means that all of my geos are, first of all, displayable and colourful, and second of all, I can just unclip the colour I need and just take one off there without having to sort of dig around and have them jump out of pockets. I find the geos, if you put them in a pocket, these guys are the most likely to jump out. When you try to pull one out, you end up with 16 flinging out at you. I've also done the same with my larger geos and donuts as well, so your 16 inches and your donuts. The back section here, if you look down into this back section, which isn't the prettiest, I am working on the back section. It's at the moment just made of core flute, but I'm going to be changing that to an acrylic very soon. I've got a drawer pull out which has got my headbands. That means I can just reach in and grab one headband at a time. I've got a number of different compartments, one of which here's got a little 160 pump, and another little innovation of mine is, instead of doing a balloon scrap wristband, I've actually had my own slap bracelets made up. So I've actually got a bunch of these on reorder, but yeah, they're about the same price as a business card if you're happy to buy them in bulk from China, and it's the sort of thing, I think if you give a kid a business card, 9 times out of 10 it's going to get thrown away. If you give them something like a slap bracelet, you know it's going to end up floating around in the toy box or the back of the car. I've got my rubber cement with a little tab on it so I can pull it out of its little hidey hole. And my last compartment has got a 260 cube pump there for those days where I really don't want to mouth inflate everything. Actually, the 260 pump's also handy if I'm doing anything that requires a diamond clear sculpture and I don't want condensation on the inside of the balloon. I'll always use the pump. Okay, well that's pretty much it. I'll show you how it all packs up and folds away. I can take my rubbish bag off and pop that on top. I take my geos off like this and pop those on top as well, and pop these guys on top as well. I fold my luggage handle down, my stationary flap folds up like that, my doors just lock together like that, the side flaps fold up, the other side flap folds up. I have a zipper that joins the two together. Pardon the camera work once again while I use my other hand. So this zipper basically just seals all of this up. I find this a lot better than the apron, first of all because it holds a lot more balloons, and there's a real finality to when this is closed, the kids know there's no more balloons. Whereas when you're walking around with an apron where all the balloons are still visible, and all you're saying to the kids is, sorry, I've run out of time, or, you know, no more balloons, you'll find that when the balloons are visible, they usually won't take that as an answer. Lid closes down, a little bit of pressure because this thing is very, very full. And and then there's just sort of a luggage clip here that holds it together. Give me just 1 second, I'll close that up. so you can see what we look like. That is our balloon box closed up. And then to fold the whole assembly down, I've got a couple of more of these case clips, which are good because these are relatively child-proof. The kids generally won't figure out how these work. You sort of lift them, twist them, and twist them back again. So that then separates the top from the bottom. The top then lifts off down to there. So we've got the two separate pieces, and then this one, that one's hollow. It fits over the top of that one. Pardon the camera work, I'll show you. So there we go. A couple of case clips lock the whole thing up. And then we've got our luggage handle. So we can move the whole thing around. Very clever. Saves a lot of time, saves a lot of hassle.
So there you have it. That is what I take to each of my jobs, and it's been working quite well for me so far. I hope you've enjoyed the little video. I hope there's some ideas in there that you can take away and use. I'm not going to make any more of these boxes, so please don't send me emails asking to buy one. However, I am perfectly happy to provide dimensions and a little bit more information on what I use to make it if you want to drop me an email at pureballoonacy@gmail.com. Oh, thanks for watching, and back to you, Scott and Sam.
Alright, well, I feel very inferior having seen Matt's setup.
Yeah.
I love the opening of the
I love the way
balloons.
it closes everything up, and you know that he's done for the night whenever he closes down. I love that.
Right.
It's,
well, all right. We need a little bit more to round this episode out, so I thought to be topical. Last week we talked about how the big balloon of the night is whatever everyone else has had.
right.
One of my first balloons tonight, someone asked me for a rainbow sword.
A rainbow sword.
Right. And I'm like, well, if I had the Agate 260s with me, that would be great. But I didn't. So I thought we'd do one here. This is really not breaking new ground, but I want to show you guys the Agate sword I did because it's sort of a scraps and crap sword. And hey, anytime I get to use more of these.
Right.
So we're using a grade 260, not using the whole thing, so whatever you leave is kind of arbitrary. Something I started doing for the bottoms of the sword is the split pinch twist.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a bigger pinch twist. I might be off camera here, I'm not sure. To give you this kind of look for the bottom of the sword. Leave a handle and 3 flower petals. More of your, what kind of sword? Not like a foil or a fencing type sword.
No, more of a, almost like a knight sword or a dirk or a dagger. We'll go with that, dirk or a dagger.
Dirk. No one's ever asked me for a dirk. But, all right, pop that off. That's your handle. So as far as the rainbow goes, I used a lot of 160s. I use half of a 160 usually because I use those for the antennas for a butterfly or Janine Von Essen's motorcycle. I like her two balloon motorcycle.
Right.
So it gives me a lot of leftover 160 pieces, which I never do these on a hand pump. I'm so used to you know what? We have so much noise already.
Go ahead and use the big boy.
Breaking down the salsa bar. Whee! Love that sound. All right.
I love how the entire staff in the restaurant stopped moving to look and see what that noise was.
Yeah, they're like, our balloon guy doesn't make that noise. No. Yeah, the whisper quiet. Yeah, this battery needs a charge too. Let's see, there's a goldenrod. Let's do, I should have put a pink in there. That's what I should have done. Would have looked better, but oh well. Demonstration purposes only, right?
Right.
Okay. So, let's take the blue and the goldenrod, tie those two together. Trim the knots, trim the knots. Aha. All right. With this one, I want to put the pinch twist in the end. That way, this can be the point of the sword. And we get rid of all this, it'll be more pointy. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Pointy and stuff.
Let's see, they're mostly the same size. Let's use the blue and the green. Twist, 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 twist. Take that goldenrod, work it around there, give you a nice swirl. Twist these into here. Made one of these tonight, and then afterwards, everybody wants.
Yeah.
You kind of get the 160s to nestle in that little groove in here. And made that one a bit long. Why, is that too loud?
No.
Okay, good. They don't want to be too loud.
Because I never pop balloons at this restaurant.
Okay, so we have... It's not really a rainbow sword, but it's a multicolored sword.
Right, I like that. That's cool.
I'm sure a lot of people have done that, or they've done the red, the fire sword, but...
I think I had that same kid ask me for a rainbow sword at another restaurant recently, so...
Awesome.
Yeah.
What I like about it, too, is you look at that, you're like, that's a 4-balloon sword.
Yeah.
But these are all leftovers.
scrap.
In fact, if you you get 2 160 halves for each one,
Right.
It's 1.5 balloons plus a handle.
There you go.
So, actually, the handle's about half a balloon, so scrap, crap, you decide.
Awesome.
Want to eat on camera? Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well eat on camera. I mean, it's our show. We do what we want, right?
Well, within reason.
Wow.
We have had to cut some stuff out.
Well, guys, it's been yet another week here at Balloon Blast. Hope to see some of you guys at Twist and Shout. As you can see, Scott's eating.
Well, you had yours first.
Yeah, I had mine before the camera fired up. So, on behalf of all our friends and family here at Balloon Blast, he's Scott Tripp.
Sam Cremines.
Sam Cremines, you guys have a great week. It's good stuff, isn't it?
It is.
Set them free at the break of dawn. So one by one, they were gone. Back at the base, sparks in the software. Flash the message, someone's out there. Floating in the summer sky. 99 red balloons go by. 99 red balloons floating in the summer sky. Panic bells, it's red alert. There's something here from somewhere else. The war machines race to life. Opens up one eager ride. The focusing it on the sky. 99 red balloons go by.
No I in Balloon Blast.
Huh?
All right.
There's no I in Balloon Blast. Okay. All right. Well, we had a question. This is a follow-up to Ask the Latexperts. We did have a question that asked, Scott, what do you do with all those saved balloon nozzles?
I sent you a text. I found 2 bags of these.
Yeah. So on
2
top
more
of the
bags that I did not have.
So what does that make? About 6 or 8 bags?
Probably right at about a 5-gallon bucket altogether.
Yeah.
And someone said, what do you do with all those? To which I asked, what don't you do with them? They're so useful. I'll use every one of these. I mean, for my typical line work nunchucks, you use about, what, 12 of those?
12 of those, rubber cemented together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Now, I won't use it on the busiest restaurant night, but, you know, birthday party, anywhere where you have, 30 or less kids. They're really fun, too.
That's, that is pretty...
I mean, it's about a 2-minute balloon, though, but if you have time... Oh.
These, and he does make these up ahead of time for me to use with my giant Ninja Turtle balloon.
Right. Now, if you want to go more medieval, I do the whole chainmail outfit out of them, but, you know...
That's pretty intense. Uses a bunch of those and a whole container of rubber cement at the same time.
Yeah, but still, you know...
Yeah, but still. You put a price on awesome?
No, it
I say no.
One birthday party a year.
Right.
You gotta say no?
Right.